Hi there, my name's Emily. I'm with the GQ's customer care team, and I'm here to talk to you today about how to use GQs to collaborate with your team while working remotely. So I have two accounts I'm going to use to help me demonstrate this. First is Naveen. He's the director of the Patrons fundraising team at a nonprofit organization. And over here we have Bree, who's the manager of the Patrons team and also one of Naveen's direct reports. So the first thing I want to talk about is how to set up your team to make sure everyone's on the same page, you know what everyone's working on, but you also have ownership over your own tasks. So as director of the Patrons team, Naveen has created this Patrons team queue. And if we click on that drop down and open the team settings, we can see that he's set himself up as the owner, of course, and then Bree is a manager, Emily's a collaborator, and the new intern, Maya, he set up as a completer. So she can attach files and complete tasks, but since she's entry level, brand new, he hasn't given her that full functionality just yet. But as she progresses through her internship, if they want to give her more options of what to do, he can just select one of these other roles and click done to update that later. He's also set up a team for him and Bree. So Naveen created this team, but this is really the place for Bree to track and organize her work in the way that makes sense for her. But as her manager, Naveen can just pop in and check in on how's this intern onboarding doing, and he can scroll through. She's completed all of that setup, and really all that's left are these tasks marked as training, just to make sure that Maya's getting the tools that she needs to succeed at this internship. He's also created a similar team for him and Emily, and then he's also created this patron events team. And the events are being tracked separately from the patrons team because they require collaboration from the development operations team as well. So instead of having the DevOps team get notifications about the patrons' weekly meetings and their Ad Labs campaigns, he's created two separate teams to make sure that everyone is getting the information they need and not getting bogged down with information that's not relevant to them. Over on Bree's side, she has those teams that Naveen has added her to, and then she's also created a team for herself and the interns. Since she manages the intern, it's just between her and Maya. And as you'll notice, that does not pop up on Naveen's teams because he hasn't been added as a team member. But of course, that can also always be adjusted later. The next thing I want to go over is how to communicate about your tasks in GQs. So let's say that Naveen wants to know when this fundraising basics training is going to happen. If he wants to talk about it in a different platform outside of GQs, he can click these three vertical buttons, the More menu, and then click the link. This will copy the link to his clipboard, which then he can paste in whatever platform works best for him. So let's say he wants to email Bree about it. So he can just paste the link anywhere he likes, any other communication platform, and then give her the extra information. When will this happen? And then he'll send that email. And then when we look on it on Bree's side, if she clicks this link, it'll bring her right to the tasks page in GQ so she knows the exact task that Naveen's talking about, which is super handy. But even handier is that you can do all of this communication from within GQs. So if instead of sending an email, Naveen can click on this comment button, and that will open up the comments panel where he can ask the same question. When is this scheduled? And then, depending on Bree's notification, she'll either get a web notification or an email or potentially both. In this case, she's going to get that email, and she can reply to the comment directly from her email. So she could say, next Monday. And when she sends that email, it's not going to Naveen's inbox. It's going to just be added onto that comments panel for the task within GQs. If she wants, she can also click that View Task button, and it'll bring her to the same task page, just like as if he had emailed her the link. And so this is nice if she just needs a little extra context about what the parent task is, anything else she's already handled with this task so far. And then we'll also see that her comment is going to pop up on this comment panel because she replied via email. And there it is. Speaking of notifications, we can pop over here and see that Naveen has gotten notifications about Bree's comments. So she had this comment, fundraising basics happening next Monday. That's great. He was on the page when it popped up, so that's all good. But now we can see she's also commented on a task on a different queue. So if he just clicks on that, it'll bring him right to the task she's talking about. In this case, Bree commented because she needs a little help from Naveen. She feels like she's hit a roadblock. So comments are a really useful tool if you want to give updates on tasks that you're working on, and it keeps all the communication within the app, which is really great to make sure anyone else who happens to come look at this task has all the same information as well. The third feature I want to talk about that's really helpful for collaborating with your team while working remotely is attachments. So over here, Bree's been working on some copy for the end of year campaign, and she needs to add it into the task to make sure that her teammates can give her some feedback. So she's just going to click on this paperclip and then select from her drive. And that will let her either select from her own drive, shared drives, any files shared with her, recents, and of course she can upload files directly from her computer as well. In this case, she has that add gift language right there, and then GQueues attaches it to the task and also updates the shared permissions for the file within Google Drive. So this is really nice, especially if you're going to be sharing the file with lots of people within GQueues. It just makes sure that everyone has the same sharing permissions within GQueues as within Google. So if they're a view-only contributor on this task, they'll have view-only access within Google Drive. And if they're a collaborator on this queue, then they'll be able to edit within Google Drive. If for any reason Bree doesn't want those permissions to line up, instead she can click on the file, just copy that path, and then add it to the notes. This will still create a link that people can click on. It'll bring them right to the file, but then she can control all the permissions from within the Google Drive settings. So if someone has view-only access for the task in GQueues and she wants them to be able to edit, this would be a great option for that, and of course vice versa. But attachments are a really great, quick, easy way to make sure everyone who's collaborating on the task also has the ability to collaborate on the files that are involved. I hope this video was helpful in getting you to envision how to use GQueues with your remote team, but if you have any other questions, you can always chat us from within the app. Have a great rest of your day.